Hello, welcome back to another video. Anime Dion here. We are doing What If Luffy Had the Sharingan Part 5. We last left off between a fight between Usopp and Zoro, and they had just clashed with Zoro's new slingshot of a one made of steel that we haven't seen before in the show. Usopp says, and Zoro using his three swords clashes, and yes, Usopp had blocked it, and it's still up. He's not even down. He's not even blasting back. What Usopp does in this clash is he pushes forward on Zoro and backs up himself, and the slingshots of Firebird will start at him. Luckily, Zoro is able to deflect it, but then right after that, Usopp slingshots a whole bunch of these pointy things at Zoro. Zoro couldn't get them all, and some of them puncture him and slash him. But it doesn't really affect Zoro much, as he gets into a Ashida pose. He gets ready to Ashida, Usopp. And what Usopp does, he backs up and dodges one time and gets slashed on his back by Zoro. Usopp, not even really affecting him, gets up, grabs Zoro's arm, kicks him in his chin, in the bottom of his chin, upwards. He then backs up, using his metal slingshot. He hits Zoro in the back with the back of it, in his stomach. He jumps back and he shoots him with another Firebird to start blasting him back a bit. Zoro, taking all these hits, gets on the ground for a bit. He gets back up. He says, "That's not enough to take me down." And he goes back into Asura, and he does two slashes to Usopp's chest, knocking Usopp down to his knees. Usopp says, "This will be my final attack," as he slings back some special looking stuff and he throws it at Zoro. Instantly, this little tiny white ball goes straight to Zoro's, in between his two eyes, and turned into like a giant spike. And this spike doesn't look like a normal spike. It looks like the spike of a Bronchiosaurus's teeth, but pointy and sharp and, like a spike. But before Zoro could do anything, he goes for a chop, but it doesn't go good. It does deflect the hit, but this block on this tooth, it ends up breaking Zoro's sword. I don't really know the sword name, but it breaks one of them, just one. So, not too much, just one of the swords. So, after that, Luffy stops the fight. He says, "Well, you guys are both worthy to be in my crew and worthy of your remembrance. Zoro, you need practice and a new sword. What we're gonna do next is go look for this type of steel I have in my sword, and we'll give you that one." Luffy laughs. He says, "You still won't be as good as me, Zoro." Zoro says, "I'm already better than you, Luffy." Luffy says, I'll still beat your ass," says Luffy. Zoro's like, and he scoffs, just says nothing else. Usopp sitting there says, "Wait up." Usopp says, "I want to see what steel you used to put in your sword. I could make a weapon out of this," says Usopp. Luffy says, "Come on along." Zoro then asks, "What was that stuff you threw at me that broke my sword?" Usopp says, It's part of a Bronchiosaurus. It's a part of Bronchosaurus's tooth. It's super strong. And yes, you may be thinking, how did you get it sharpened? Because I know their teeth isn't sharp." Zoro's like, in his mind, "I didn't think of this at all. Damn, I feel stupid," says Zoro. Usopp then says to Zoro, "So I basically used loads of heat in order to shape this thing. If I didn't use this heat, I wouldn't have been able to shape it," says Usopp. Zoro says, "Maybe you can help me make this sword with Luffy, and making it be collide with his swords metal in your tooth." Luffy then interrupts. He says, "Usopp, give me a piece of that tooth." Usopp says, "Alright, and he throws just like a random piece of this what's it called, the tooth, right? But the tooth is not like shaped, it's sharp, nothing like that. It's just like a brick, kind of, like a tooth would be. Luffy then raises up his sword and he chops it dead in half. Luffy raises his sword and chops the tooth in half. He says, well, this type of blade is stronger. Maybe you can use that for the hilt to block any other blade's attacks, says Luffy. He smiles. Usopp sees this, he's like, what? So simple. I'm gonna need to know what that blade is. Luffy laughs in his mind. He says, it's definitely not because of the blade, but it's because of the haki. Well, to him it's like the trick he knows, but it's not haki to him. Luffy laughs to himself as he walks with Zoro and Usopp. They make it by the shore, and Luffy says, this type of meadow is always by the shore. If you go deep down by this thing, you will reach water a bit, but not too much, so I could be able to swim still, even with this fruit I have. He digs down in the sand. He says, as long as we go about 20 feet down below this, we'll be able to find this steel. But you won't be finding a lot. You have to go all around the island to try to find this stuff. So, yeah. Good luck with that. Usopp says, what? You're not going to help? Nope. Zoro says, easy. He uses the trick that he learned from Luffy. But instead of it going to stop, instead of him catching it, he's going to let it continue spinning. He throws it up with even more spinning than usual, causing it to even spin through the dirt with the blade chopping through some of the sand, but it doesn't get too far, about 3 feet deep, Luffy says. Usopp says, you idiot, you have to use bombs. He throws down a bomb with his slingshot and it explodes, giving up a lot of deep, about 5 feet now, but they need 5 more feet to do so. Luffy laughs. He says, how weak. He points his hands, adding a bit of haki to it, and goes Gomu no, and digs in there as much as he can, even stretching his arm. It goes deep. His arms go deep below the sand and the dirt, going really down low. He then forces his arms to come back to him, like not all the way stretchy like that, forces them all the way back, pulling up so much dirt and sand that there's practically loads of the steel down there. They jump down there, and Luffy says, be careful, because if the dirt up there falls on us, we're dead. Luffy laughs. He says, it happened to me, but luckily I made it out just in the nick of time, says Luffy. Zoro looks at Luffy and he trusts him, and he ends up going down to the dirt. Luffy sits up there and doesn't go in there with him. He eventually jumps out and sits down and watches them. He drops bits of sand and dirt on them just to tease them and make fun of them. See, he laughs and he says, as they all each time get scared, whether or not the thing has dropped or not. They end up grabbing as much steel as possible. Luffy then explained to them that the only way to get this steel, you can't use heat or like a pickaxe. You have to use like pressure. You have to put pressure on him. That's why it took so long for Luffy to build that sword, because he had to get the strength in order to put pressure on him. So this caused Usopp to use bombs, which did work. Actually, the bombs worked to put pressure on them, and they eventually break out of their rock, so they're able to grab it. Luffy then says, as long as you keep putting pressure while you're building it, it'll work perfectly. If you have a strong enough squeeze grip, it'll work when you're to sheep and stuff. To Usopp and Zoro. Zoro takes his advice and uses the back of his sword and slams it as hard as he can on the thing, causing it to come out even easier and easier. And this goes on for about 2 hours, I think so. Yeah, like 2 hours. It takes him 2 hours to grab this steel out of there enough to make a sword for Zoro, and Usopp got enough for his own. Usopp gets his part and goes on his own. He says, I'll be back. I'm gonna go look for Robin, says Usopp. Usopp is making something on his way over there. Luffy doesn't really care what. As long as it helps him in fighting, he's perfectly fine with it. Luffy tells Zoro, "Do you know what you're doing?" Zoro says, "Not a clue." As he continues trying to shape a form, Luffy says, "I'll do it. I built my own sword, so I could build yours." Zoro looks at Luffy's sword and see how perfectly cut, clean, and sharp it is, and he agrees. It takes about 20 minutes for Luffy to, shape and build some of some of Zoro's sword. He uses the bone that he got from Usopp and burns it and puts it as the hilt, and the handle is from leather and a bit of regular metal, steel. I mean, no, not steel, wood, my bad, because hilt cannot be steel. Yeah, my bad about that. But so yeah, we go back to Usopp. Usopp is forming this thing, and it looks like something like a necklace, but Usopp's put something in it. A steel bar with some lasers on it. Whatever. It's like this kind of like circle-ish necklace, and like, well, not circle-ish. It's like a choker on it, and it has like little bits of spike pointing out of it. No, it's not like, it don't look emo. It don't look like emo. Okay, don't get that idea. I have like some like rubies on it and stuff, and it looks really nice. He goes up to Robin and he says, "Here, Robin, wear this." Then Usopp walks away. He literally runs as fast as he can all the way back to Luffy and Zoro. And he gets there pretty fast. And you guys know that Usopp is really strong and fast, and is much stronger and faster than he was. And way, way, way stronger and fast than he was in the original. And I explained this back in in part 3 of the video. So yeah, he gets back there and he sees Zoro's new sword. Zoro's new sword is dope, Luffy says. It looks even more decorized, and it looks more like a Zoro type sword. Zoro uses this to put it in his mouth. I mean, not his mouth, his right hand, because the right hand sword was broken. Now we go into Nami, Vivi, and Sanji, and well, not Chopper yet. And Chopper is just on this random little thing that he got on to sleep, and is now lost. It's not too bad. We go to Nami, Vivi, and Sanji. They watch as and Kudo, of course. They watch as this random person walking in this giant black cloak. He walks away, you know what I'm saying? He's walking away as Nami, Vivi, and Sanji's watching it. They see him walking to this certain cave, and he looks suspicious. Vivi saying, "It's crocodile. It must be." So this is why they're following the man. Nami uses this time to tell Kudo to go signalize Zoro and Sanji and Zoro that they might be able to defeat Crocodile right here and right now. Kudo gets there pretty quickly, and he gets there. He signalizes Zoro, Luffy, and Usopp that Crocodile's here and that they need to go defeat him now. By the time Kudo gets back, the fight between Luffy, Usopp, and Zoro had already... So yeah, the fight between Luffy, Usopp, and Zoro and Crocodile began. Crocodile easily sweeping the feet off of Zoro and Usopp like it was nothing, because they had no weight or form to attack. Usopp did have a ability using water, but he didn't know the weakness of Crocodile yet. Neither did Luffy. And at this time, he used Haki to punch Crocodile once, but it does work. But Usopp himself, being the idiot he is, he used this as a way to get stronger without using this strange ability, he says. Zoro seeing Usopp and Zoro on the ground causes Zoro to jump in, knowing that his captain may need some help. Oh, and if you guys do not know, this is going to be a big part of the What If. In the original What If, Sanji, in the original anime, in One Piece, Sanji didn't get his strength or powers of his family like the other ones did. They all had like special powers, and they all had like super strength, super speed, super durability, and they each had like a special ability. Like his sister had poison, one of his... My bad again, but let me keep on explaining. They each have like special speed, special rank, and a special ability, and one special ability. And now in the manga, we had just figured out that Sanji had gotten his abilities back because it turns out the medicine that the mother gave herself so that these powers would prevent that from happening has worn off. Not now, but they had worn off in the past when he was still on his captain ship. Sanji's like, I'm the strongest one here. His foot flames up into a flame, and for those saying, oh, he already had Diablo Jambe, that was already his ability. That was supposed to be his ability for his family tree. That's why he's Diablo Jambe. Because if anybody else in history did that, it wouldn't work out like that. He just used the spin part at first to activate it, but he didn't know. He thought that was the reason why. He does that, and he kicks Crocodile. It doesn't really do much, but it does attack him. For those you saying, oh, only water works. It worked. I don't care what you say. He kicked, what's it called? Sanji kicked Crocodile, knocking him back. Crocodile says, Luffy, I've heard of you. You've been defeating my workies. He goes for a slash and slashes Luffy's fist. If Luffy punches him, he sees that the liquid and the blood is finally working with the punches. So he's saying that must be his weakness. Instantly, he goes in and he uses Sharingan, using as much blood as possible on his fist to punch Crocodile with ease. He basically, and I said this in the beginning, that Crocodile wasn't going to be much for Luffy, so yeah. Luffy keeps on punching Crocodile over and over again and basically leaves him done. Luffy then says to Sanji, handle this. Sanji goes up and he spins up and up and up, like spins like forward over and over again. Flips forward over and over again with his foot out on flames, and he gets even hotter and hotter, turning blue, and he eventually, boom, knocks out Crocodile, hitting him with the top of his head. Luffy then uses some sea prism stone that he uses with his sword, not on his sword, but uses some of that stone to capture Crocodile, knowing that is a weakness. And yes, I know this is going to be not too bad, but he basically puts him on his boat, and he basically puts him on their boat and goes to the middle of the ocean and puts him on a tiny, tiny little boat. And eventually it's caught by the Marines, and Crocodile is caught by the Marines. For you guys saying, oh, he was a warlord, so he shouldn't be getting in trouble. If you guys watched the show, you guys would know why he was in trouble, because he was trying to enslave the whole kingdom of Alabasta. They go back, and they say goodbye to Vivi and Kudo. Vivi, while they were leaving, Vivi says, are we still members of this crew, Luffy? Luffy then signals everybody with a nod, and they each raise the back of their hand up, seeing the X's that they all written on their arms. And so does Vivi, Kudo turn around and they mark theirs. That's how you know you're a member of the Straw Hats crew, if you had that X. So that's why people be getting tattoos. I think I'm gonna get a tattoo when I get older. I think I'm gonna get a tattoo of that. That'll be heated. That'll be goated. Goated tattoo, if you know what I mean. But yeah. So, then that's the end of Alabasta. Oh, and let me give you guys some details on Sanji's abilities that happen in the story, and more of Sanji. This causes Luffy, seeing Sanji straight, make him more than just a chef. He's a chef and a fighter of the crew. And yes, for those of you, I don't even know what that means. I just made that up right now. Fighter is like a person that goes ahead and fights with Luffy. Also, that's not a swordsman or vice captain or a sniper. He's this fighter role to fight with like special kind of attacking style. So he's a chef and the fighter. So Sanji, just to let you know, Sanji is stronger than both Zoro and Usopp by a whole lot. Okay, not a whole lot, but a very good amount. Sanji is stronger than Zoro and Usopp. Sanji's stronger than Zoro and Usopp. He's not stronger than Luffy, but he can deal a lot of damage to Luffy. Actually, probably almost damn near beat him in a fight. Almost, though. But Luffy would win in that situation. In a fight. Because Luffy's so strong that he can probably add heat to his fist already. And no, it's not because of his hockey, element, which he does have. He still has that flame, but not yet, though. He hasn't gotten enough strength with hockey yet. But yeah, he can do that. But it won't have a lot of flame on it like Red Hawk. It'll only have a bit on it, like on his finger parts. so it won't do too much damage yet. But he can do that because of how fast his punches are. So, just letting you guys know that. Sanji, he can, like, move super fast, and yes, he can do the airwalk because of how strong his legs are already. His strength is, you know, super strong, like I forgot what their name is, but, like, his family is. And, yeah, they basically are, like, the strongest, the super, super, super strong people already. So, yeah, get it right. Like I said, you know, get it right. My boy Zoro's leveling up. Well, you like, why you give Zoro so many upgrades? I mean, Sanji so many upgrades. You like Sanji more than Zoro. I like Zoro more, but I really love Sanji as a character. I've always been interested in Sanji, but I like Zoro more than Sanji. It's just I've always been interested in Sanji, and in my what ifs, I don't really give Sanji too much attention. So like, let me give my boy Sanji some attention, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm like, man, let's do it. He's the second strongest crewmate of the Straw Hats crew. Then it goes Zoro, and then it goes Usopp, and then it goes Chopper, then it goes Nami, and then it goes Vivi. And yes, in all of this, I did not mention Chopper, but let's say boy found him and got my boy Chopper found him and got busy, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? For you guys, those of you guys saying, oh, what about all the other people in Alabasta? I don't care. Goodbye. And so yeah. Thank you guys so much for hitting that subscribe. We got like 630 subscribers or 640, and we need to get to 1,000. When I get 1,000, I'll finally get monetized, so there'll be better quality videos and so and so. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you'll be updated on my daily uploads. And yeah, peace out.